The following is a presentation of the Broadband Universe, brought to you in part by Vitruvi, the end-to-end GIS-based construction management platform that connects asset owners, operators, general contractors, and subcontractors for unmatched project control and collaboration. Manage every aspect of your telecommunications or utility infrastructure construction program with Vitruvi. Build faster, reduce costs, improve quality. Book your demo today on vitruvisoftware.com to see how we can help you build at scale. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Broadband Universe podcast. I'm Craig Corbin, and it is a pleasure to welcome my guest and friend today, Mr. Jeff Gavlinski, the CEO of Mountain Connect Broadband Development Conference. And Jeff, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well. How are you doing?
It is a great time of the year. It's a great time in the industry. So much going on. I know you have been busy on many fronts, and there's a big announcement that we're going to get to in our conversation today that is so incredibly exciting with respect to Mountain Connect. It is an event that is one of those must-attend conferences on everyone's calendar. And goodness knows, I guess we're pushing the better part of a decade since this all got started. I'm always curious to know what was the genesis for putting this together.
Well, I can't take credit for starting it. Actually, it was a conference that was built around our BTOP grant in 2009, 2010 timeframe. And the gentleman that started that was Corey Brendel. And I'll get to how I changed the event, but effectively it was a conversation around the impact of our BTOP grant to the Western Slope communities of Colorado. And
Right.
So one year, I think second or third year I attended, I said, well, isn't there more we could do with this? And he said, well, if you want to do more with it, then by all means. So,
And you did.
well, yeah, I mean, it's grown quite a bit over the last 8, 9 years. I think there were 90, 100 people last time he ran it. And then, last year we had 600 plus people there. So
That is so exciting. When you talk about the opportunity to meet and interact with so many important people within the industry, you talk about 600 people at this year's event back in May. Give us a little bit of a review, some of the high points from your perspective of this year's Mountain Connect.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that probably the biggest thing that created news for Mountain Connect this year was having Alan Davidson from NTIA there. And
Yeah.
to my knowledge, I think Mountain Connect's the only place he's been in person. So, and we had him do a keynote. So that was really well received. And I think it was a great way to kick off. I think it came 10 days after the NOFO came out. So it was a great way
Right.
to kick off the NOFO and talk about what the possibilities were going to be.
Yep, of course, that's the Notice of Funding Opportunity. And that when you talk about $42.5 billion, people get excited for what is coming down the pike in the next 5-10 years. And goodness knows, to say, Jeff, that we are in the golden age with respect to opportunity within this industry probably is an understatement. And I know that was very well received at this year's event.
Yeah, it'd be great if they could get that money out into the ecosystem of our industry so that we could actually start building. So we're still waiting for maps to come out, but it's a great opportunity. And I think between BEAD and the subsequent programs that fall underneath it and the continued evolution of 5G, those two programs are going to consume every last resource in this industry.
That brings up an interesting question that, quite honestly, I'm curious to see how it is addressed when you talk about the resources that are needed for all the build-outs that are going to come. And, of course, the manpower is just one part of that, and we could literally do an entire podcast on that. But I'm always curious about feedback that you get from attendees who sit through the presentations, then have the opportunity to interact with the speakers and the exhibitors that are there on hand. Talk about that.
Well, like anything else, I think what I'm trying to build is a more of an intimate environment where, you know, that's a conference built around the networking quality. So it's our objective to make those connections for people who actually need the help, and that sort of is another focus of the event, and that is to try to attract the folks who need the help.
Yep.
Right. So the tier 3, tier 4 communities, counties, etc., to get them to come because they need the help. They may need the education. They may need the connections.
Yeah, that is a great point because we talk about all the tremendous funding opportunity that is out there, and so there will be great opportunity for so many of those organizations like you're talking about, but it is incumbent upon everyone, I think, to help make sure that they are provided the education, the information they need to keep it between the lines going forward, because I don't know if it's just my position, but I'm not sure that we get this good an opportunity for the build out of infrastructure across the country. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. I think there's some challenges coming for us as an industry. I think in 2021, one of the things that I led with was a study that was done by the Economic Policy Institute that did a study of our industry in 2020, and part of their findings was that for the first time our industry had dropped below 1 million employees. And if you think about,
wow,
you go to a lot of conferences, you look around, there are a lot of people with gray or white hair. So we're going to have a lot of people who are retiring out of the industry in the next 5 to 7 years. How do we backfill that? And we haven't done a really good job of making this industry, if you want to say sexy, attractable to
appealing to the younger
generations
generations
who may not understand the opportunities that exist in the industry on the periphery of the industry. I think there's a lot of really interesting things that people could be doing in this industry, and we do have a lot of value that we can and should be attracting younger people.
Well, and we talk about the opportunity for the interaction in what you described as an intimate setting. And that's, I know from the times that I have been fortunate enough to attend Mountain Connect, it has been an incredible atmosphere. And for so long there in the mountains of Colorado, west of Denver quite a bit, and you're out in just beautiful ski country in the winter and great hiking in the summer months. But there is a change coming for Mountain Connect, and that's sort of the tease that we offered earlier in the conversation with respect to the location of next year's event. And I am anxious to know exactly what is on tap.
Well, I'm happy to announce that we are moving from the Western Slope. So last 8 years or so, we've had it either in Vail or in Keystone, which is near Breckenridge, and we've outgrown the Western Slope and are now moving it to downtown Denver. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're moving it to a tier 1 city, to the Sheraton, August 7th through the 9th next year. So we're moving it to August from May because I think, in 2021 we had it in August. We were in that really nice window where we had a break from COVID. Right. But feedback from everybody was that was a very good time of the year to have it. So we're moving it to August. Very excited about this. It's going to open up a lot of other opportunities for the conference.
This is a quantum leap, I would say, from my perspective, for the conference because of the increased convenience to access the event, given that you're going to be in Denver proper, a short hop from the airport. No excuses about being able to very easily attend this event, and I would assume that there should be a corresponding jump in attendance.
Yeah, we're hoping so. I mean, I still want to sort of lean on our the quality of our content and quality of the people who attend in terms of that being an attraction for new people to come. But it's going to be a Superman-like effort to move from a resort facility to a tier one city hotel conference center. So if you didn't notice the the joke I did there, then because all I gotta do is look over my shoulder. So
Well done.
yeah,
Well done. You are watching the Broadband Universe podcast, brought to you in part by Lit Communities. Light up your community. You deserve better internet. By Vetro Fiber Map, radically simpler fiber management. By OnTrack, proven leader in connectivity. And by Vitruvi, build faster, reduce costs, improve quality. My guest today, Jeff Gavlinski, CEO of Mountain Connect, and you talk about the process of making a shift from a venue that, without question, has become extremely comfortable, knowing everyone that's there, all the processes involved, to a brand new location. And I'm sure there will be some growing pains with that. Talk about how you are mentally preparing for the coming months.
well, you said something really apt there a second ago about knowing what to expect because now I'm moving into a larger facility where there's more touch points in terms of the work that myself and my team have to do in order to facilitate the conference. So that's completely new. But I think at the end of the day, if we can keep to our core value, it's going to be a great event. So I'm going to be looking for a little bit more help in terms of facilitating the event, but um, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, you talk about what goes into putting on a conference of this magnitude. And even if you had stayed for the coming year in Keystone, there are a lot of the processes, the logistics behind the scenes that go on that no one thinks about. You know, they're happy to show up on day one and off to the races, but you have been going just like the duck on the pond, furiously paddling underneath the water's level, and I'm sure that does not end year round.
No, it doesn't. But I think after 8, 9 years, you know when to step on the gas and when to apply the brake, so to speak. So we're in a brake applying period right now, but
Yep.
there is more work to do this year just because it is a new facility. There are new relationships to create. There are new things to learn. And so, but again, I would say it provides some additional opportunities that we didn't have at the previous facility. So how do you take advantage of that? How do you improve on customer touch points? How do you make sure that everybody is satisfied with, the not only the facility, but certainly what you're trying to accomplish as an event facilitator?
Now, out of curiosity, will there be a shift from what has been the traditional exhibit area and time on the agenda in past events? Is that going to be expanded into bigger and better?
Well, I don't. So here's what I will say. We are going to have an exhibit hall, but it'll be a different kind of exhibit hall. But I'm not going to say anything else about that. But so it won't be a traditional exhibit hall, but it's still an exhibit hall. So I'll leave you guessing on that one. Um,
I like that.
yeah,
I like that.
but again,
Yeah,
the core foundation of the event is to create networking opportunities. So we're going to
sure.
weave that. That'll be woven into the agenda.
Well, that's been the hallmark, Jeff, of each event that I've been able to attend, and I know that every conversation that I have throughout the year, people talk about how much they enjoy that aspect of the event. For those that have never attended a Mountain Connect in the past, obviously this will be a golden opportunity to change that and get that on the calendar. What are the primary categories of conversation that will go on with respect to panel discussions, speakers that we can look forward to next August?
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't have, last year we had a whole section of our agenda dedicated to BEAD funding, and I think we'll obviously continue that this year. Um, I have a couple other surprises up my sleeve, so to speak, with regards to the content. I will tell people who have not been there before. One of the other things that I do that's a little different from some of the other conferences is I delve into the periphery of the industry. So I do that because uh, we need to pay attention to what's coming, because what's coming will have a profound impact on what we're designing, building, and effectively delivering today, from a policy perspective to an infrastructure perspective. And so if we're not keeping an eye on that, then we're going to be awfully surprised and reactive when it does come. And that's really emerging technology application development. So um, you can expect to find that on the agenda as well.
Awesome. For those that would like to stay abreast of what is being put out there for next year's event, what's the best place to find that information?
As always, mountainconnect.org. And we are right now submitting or looking for submissions of ideas for our agenda. So I think in the next month, what you'll see is that we'll have our skeleton agenda available, so people can look at it and start to think about how they slot stuff that they're passionate about. Because really, what we want are people who are passionate about topics in our industry to come and present.
Sure.
Because I think it comes through. It makes for a better session. I'm also a big believer in panel discussions and interactive panel discussions. I think the days of going through a 60 slide presentation are over, hopefully. So,
Thankfully.
yeah, I think the audience gets more out of an interactive discussion. So we promote as many panel discussions as possible. So
Looking forward to that without question. And again, a reminder for everyone to save the dates, August 7 through 9. Going to be in downtown Denver at the Sheraton Denver downtown. Recently renovated, too, so that's exciting.
yeah, they spent $80 million, and you can see where they spent the money. They spent it
Nice.
in all the customer touch point areas as well as the rooms. So rooms have all been upgraded. So it's a really beautiful facility.
It is something well worth doing. By the way, if you need to drop Jeff a line, just info@mountainconnect.org. Still correct?
Yes, or Jeff at mountainconnect.org. Either way.
Very good. Very good. Well, I cannot wait to get out there for the 2023 version of Mountain Connect. Before I let you go, I've got to ask the crystal ball question. With now the change in venue and growth that will come there, take us 5 years, 10 years down the road. What do you foresee Mountain Connect being down the line?
Oh, that's a great question. I think for me, hopefully 5 years down the line, we're sort of in the final quarter of building out these BEAD funded networks, and that we can really turn our attention away from that to what's coming as a staple, right? Because I think we haven't done a very good job of bridging divides between industries. So, and when I look forward, I'm sort of laying the groundwork for this now, 5 years down the road. But this is why I talk about emerging technology, because I think that's where we're going to have to pivot at some point. So, and if I'm wrong, then I'll make other adjustments and pivots. So we'll see.
But it's good to put it out there to the universe.
Yep. Just have to
Absolutely.
execute around it.
Well, Jeff, absolutely. This has been a treat for me to catch back up with you. So happy to hear the great news, the move to downtown Denver for the 2023 edition of Mountain Connect. Cannot wait, and I encourage everyone to join.
Yeah, by the way, just one little other side note. Last year we had a media center for the first time, which hopefully you'll take advantage of, um,
Absolutely.
where you can. We are facilitating press releases. We're taking our keynote speakers and then letting them address the media. We're using it for industry vlog. How do you say? Is it vlog? Or
Blog.
podcasters, which is proper.
Yep. Yep.
So we have a section for those folks as well. So it's a good place for people to come and actually hear from our experts, um, be engaged with some of our industry leading, uh, video bloggers, etc. So
Awesome. I cannot wait. I look forward to doing a preview proper of the event, say come July of next year. But so glad to hear the great news. So good to catch up with you, and best of luck as you continue to go through the preparation for the next edition of Mountain
well,
Connect.
thank you very much. I couldn't think of a better place to come and make this announcement. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, absolutely my pleasure. And on behalf of Jeff, we thank you for letting us be a part of your day. We'll see you next time right here on the Broadband Universe.